What is up YouTube, it is Matty and welcome to a pretty exciting recap video. So this was the war with D.W.A, which is Digital Warlords Associated versus the Reddit War Clan system. They chose Xenon to as the holding clan, but it was essentially a mix of D.W.A clans and a mix of Reddit clans, all sort of come together in a big sort of mixed war. So it was big matchup really. I was so happy to be a part of it, but unfortunately for me my attacks were pretty bad. Wasn't able to bring any 3 stars, and it was on the day where I was hungover and then I had to go to a wedding, so the timing for me was really awkward. I'd have loved to have been able to sit down and just properly give it a bit of thought on my attacks, but it just wasn't the case. Anyway, that aside, there were a mix of clans both sides. I'll put sort of the breakdown of the clans in the description. Don't have it to hand now, but we're going to be covering the Town Hall 10 and some Town Hall 11 hits. Basically the upper side of the field. I think it's for up to number 20. I think it was 21 was where the Town Hall 9 started, all the way down to the bottom at number 50. So from 21 to 50 were Town Hall 9s. So yeah, big amount of Town Hall 10s, which gives a nice variety in the war attacks. You're going to see a lot of Valkyrie raids. Town Hall 9s were cleared. I don't know how many dips were required, but I think it was a sort of a mixture of Town Hall 10 and 11 performance just didn't seem as competent as normal. So yeah, a few people, including myself, didn't seem to be many, if any, dips at all. Actually, looking at this side, yeah. Can't see any, but anyway, we're focusing on the Town Hall 10 and 11 content here. I have got a list of attacks I want to show you guys, which is mainly the 3-star or very close raids. I'm not really going to be showing any sort of Town Hall 10 2-star hits. I might show 1 or 2 at the end of the video, but let's jump in. First raid I'm going to show is number 20, which is the lowest Town Hall 10 on the field. Fresh hit. Sorry, no, it was scouted and then hit by Omar. So let's have a little look at the attack. A couple of level 1 Infernos. So it's a baby Town Hall 10 really, but he's already got a level 40 Queen and a level 32 King. Omar's got pretty strong heroes himself, 40 and 36. And in terms of troops, you can see they're all pretty much maxed there. The Giants, Loons, Hogs, Valkyries. Most raids are these days are combining Queen Walks into some form of Valk attack, and typically you have some form of cleanup with that, which in this case was Loons. Loons can be a solid job for cleanup, and particularly if you can see that the Loons are focusing on one side of the base. Sorry, the air defences are on one side of the base, meaning that the Loons shouldn't have too much of a difficulty cleaning them up. Queen's doing a nice walk so far, getting a bit hammered at the moment. Hopefully he can break her in and start taking some of those point defense down so she can start regaining health. Breaking has worked nicely there. Good job, because that air defense was going to be a threat. But hopefully she doesn't move too far within the Inferno Beams. The wall breakers seem to go a little bit crazy there. She is going to get the CC pull, which is great. She doesn't want her to really pull forward, because if she does, she will walk into that Inferno Beam, but she's going to be stuck on the Golem for a while. Now the Golem's distracted, he can start his mass Valk. You see some simple funneling at the top side there. Valkyrie's in the CC as well. He's got a direct route into pretty much both Inferno Towers. He's going to use Rage to get them in, and Heal Spell to keep them alive. The Infernos don't do too heavy a damage in terms of the DPS, but it's the fact they can't be healed, so you want to try and get the Infernos down as quickly as possible, which he has just about done there. And you've got quite a few Teslas he's going to need to take down for the back end of the raid. You can see a lot of Loons going in sort of 10 to 12 o'clock. Good use of them to take down all those Archer Towers, and then they're going to move on to the Wizard Towers, which will be massively helpful. And all he's got left to do now is take down those final Teslas. I think he brought the couple of Hogs with him just in case he didn't get the CC pull, but they ended up being useful at the back end of the raid here, you can see. And it was a pretty comfortable 3-star, to be honest. The Queen was looking good, spare Loons, spare Valks, and the King still survived. So yeah, pretty solid there. Nice quick route into the Inferno Towers meant that it was a pretty solid raid. We're about to see possibly the best attack of the war now. It was done by the knight. Yeah, you have to see it to believe it. It was a legitimate fresh hit as well, so not even a scout on this one. Check this out. 2 level 2 Infernos, pretty, I mean, not all max troops. You can see the minions are lower level, the hogs level 5 as well, but the Larloon is max. Only 30 and 31 on the heroes. So, let's see what's going on here. He's going to be using a lot of minion funneling, maybe I think a bit of minion cleanup as well. But firstly, he's taking his queen on a little bit of a walk. She is going to be pushing back, as you can see here, and he's going to need to find an entry point. You can see he's got rage, jump, freeze, 2 freeze in fact, and what he actually plans to do, which is the crazy bit, is rush the Inferno Tower. Now I've done it before myself, you've seen on different raids, but I've never done a sort of a rush and combined it in with a Larloon successfully anyway. That's not to say it's massively difficult, but you have to get a few timings right with the ability, with the freeze spell, and just control the raid nicely. Now you can see here, at this point he's only got 1 defense on him, which happens to be an Expo, which does do quite a bit of damage, but with the Golem there, he will be able to regain health and take it down. He has now completed the funneling while that's all happening, so there's no chance of the queen walking around. What he's got to make sure of is that he can use a rage and a freeze spell to get firstly the queen down. He has got the ability, so he'll probably pop the ability for the queen. Oh, rage spell might be for the queen. Here we go. Jump spell is there ready, and now it's queen on queen action. 31 on 40. Here we go. Queen is looking good, so he hasn't needed to pop the ability there. What he might do though is pop the ability to take down that Inferno Tower. And he has got the freeze in the locker as well. That level 3 jump will last for a little while, so he doesn't need to worry too much about that. On Channel 9 you would be slightly worried, but look, with only 1 Expo on her, she is losing health, but not massively. Here's the rage spell, there's the freeze spell, and because she's going to regen health now, that rage is going to make her pretty much regen all the way up, and she's going to take down that Inferno Tower. Now here it is, 2 hounds going in, sweeping over to that first air defense. He's going to have a freeze spell left, and that freeze is going to sort of set him up for that final Inferno Tower. He's still got the ability, remember guys, so he's got that in his locker when he needs to. The queen looks like she's going to be losing health soon, so he's got the ability to pop. Let's see if he remembered to do it. While that Larloon is going on, he's going to be focusing on that for a little while. Pops the ability. Nicely done there in between the Larloon, and you can see he's actually able to target all those defenses. Queen's going to come in handy, and she is taking down some trash buildings now, so she's not doing too much, but you can see minions going up the top side of the base to help funnel, and all those loons and hounds travelling through the back end of the base. If that it would have been great if that Seeking Air Mine would have hit the other hound, because it would have popped it, but it didn't on this occasion. He has got 2 hounds unpopped, so an absolutely ridiculous raid. Larloon is still viable, particularly if you can take an Inferno Tower down. On this occasion, the hardest part of this raid was getting that walk to work in his favour, getting those air defences down, and the Inferno Tower down in the process. So if we speed through that raid again, because it deserves the time of day, he found a way to get those 2 air defences down, and in fact I think the queen ended up taking 3 air defences down on her walk. So what was it down to? Just a base design that wasn't expecting to get hit by Larloon, because it was, I mean, it was the clever bit here is realising that that was a smart route to go to take the queen, and make use of something vulnerable on this base. The funnel was working quite nicely, you can see, with the wizard and the minion, and it all just, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let's have a look at how many air defences the queen actually takes down. So she's already taken 1. All he needs to do now is get her on to the next one, and potentially the 3rd one as well. So I'm just going to speed through it 4 times speed, with queen gone, town hall gone, 2nd air defense is gone, and in fact on this wall you can see she ended up going and getting that 3rd air defense, which is awesome. And the hounds ended up just being massive tanks for him. I'm wondering, I think he brought 3 hounds with him, I think. Am I being blind, or is that only 2 hounds? 2 hounds there. I mean, both hounds have ended up just not doing the first hound did a good job there, but the second hound just looking good on the hell. And there is 3 hounds. Sorry, I'm being absolutely blind. 3 hounds on the battlefield, only 2 air defences. Could have got away with only 2 hounds in my opinion, but perhaps he didn't expect to fully be able to get all 3, and perhaps he didn't expect to be able to, it would go all that smoothly. But an amazing hit, great queen charge in there to bring that 3-star. Moving on to the next raid, we have got number 18. Now, sore subject. 5 hits this took. If you actually look on number 18, 5 attempts, and Optimus just dropping the 99%. Devastating, because this war was lost by 3 points. That would have made a difference. It was a Town Hall 11 1-star. That would have, you know, a couple of slight things, and this war would have been a 1 point, you know, 1 point in it. Anyway, Queen walked down the bottom side. A nice wide minion funnel there to sort of push her in the right direction, but also take some down some of those trash buildings at the start of the raid. With her walk direction, he's going to need to break in, because the air defense is set back far enough to be a hindrance to those, or will kill those healers. Hopefully she's going to move out of range of the cannon, which she has now, because otherwise he was going to be struggling for health. But Rage Spell there to help keep her health nice and good, using the poison as well to slow down the infantry and the dragon, and they will all be taken down nice and controlled. The difficulty and the risk here, or what I might have even considered trying, would be a second tier break-in for the Queen, because if they got those expos down, sort of let the Valks do this, and if she got in and got those expos, I think this raid might have been slightly different. But looking at her route and what she ended up doing, she did get those extra couple of defences there, and the Valks pushing through nicely through the base, moving up to that final Inferno Tower, and they are going to get it down just about, and Hog's coming in to clear the back end troops. But look at that double expo is just being devastating. He has got some back end wizards he's trying to use to try and take that expo down, but you can see here that it's just not working out. The expo is hammering all those troops, and just sort of wasted in the end there. Probably could have been slightly better used, in fact, to help clear the trash buildings quicker, to allow all those Valkyries to run in and the Queen to get in that bit quicker. That might have helped him more so than but I guess he was just trying to get it down to make the job easier for the rest of the troops. It just didn't quite work out, unfortunately. And you can see here that although he got very, very close, the Valkyries all convening at the end there, the time got the better of him, and that level 3 Inferno survived. Gutted. Next I'm going to show, I'm going to start to show a couple of dips now. So that's it for the 10 on 10 3-stars, I think. So yeah, I guess we were expecting a little bit more, but there were some pretty tough base designs in the war. So Psychonaut dropping a 6-pack this war on his Town Hall 11, mixing in the Max Valkyries. You get the added bonus of the Warden. You get that invulnerability of the Internal Tome, or Internal Tomb. I can't remember what Eternal Tome. I don't know what it's called. I've just heard Clash with Ash mention it before, and that's what he calls it. Anyway, but that invulnerability will massively help any push troops, and you can see the Warden and King going in now. Huge chunk of Valkyries there, and he's going to pop the ability. Has he already done it? I think I've missed it. I think he's already popped that ability. Pushing through to the next Inferno now. You can see those Valks are just hammering through the base. Did catch a little bit unlucky there with the Valks, but then the heal spells come in big use, but they've ran it out of it so quickly they haven't made full use of that heal spell, so they're just running in and out. Couple of loons for the back end there. Good choice to drop them in at 12, and just so many Valkyries left. They're just hammering those defences. Good use of loons. I think you'll find that if the air defences aren't right on the outer edge of the base, that loons can really complement a sort of Valk raid, more so than Hogs sometimes. It really does depend on the base and where the giant bombs are, where the air defences are. But if you can, always look to see if you can use loons, because I do find that, you know, they're a little bit more reliable. Anyway, he's got 7 loons with him on this one. Let's see how Psycho puts them to good use. So, starting out with a bit of minion funneling. Going to be doing... He's only got 1 healer. So I'm wondering if it's going to be just like a really light walk around the outside of the base for the queen. Looks like it's going to be, he's just trying to push her to go the one way, creating a nice bit of a funnel for her, let her deal with that clan castle. In fact, she's going to be sit there with not much of anything sort of damage wise on her. That loon goes down nice and quickly, golem's there, and now that's all under control, so he can push in with his main attack force, which is going to be 20 Valkyries and the king and the warden. Entry point is going to guide him straight into that first Inferno Tower. Here we go. King and Wizard and Warden down, and the Valks are going to be soon to follow, I would have thought. Jump spells are ready, they're all in situ, so now he's just set himself up nicely to just push those Valks through. Rage and heal spells are going to be key here as to keeping these Valkyries alive. Rage down, can't see the heal spell going yet. Heal spell, second rage spell over the second Inferno Tower. Not using the heal spell just yet, keep just waiting to see, I guess, where those Valkyries end up going. And a huge chunk of Valkyries have ended up dropping down the south side of the base. The healers actually switched target onto them, which is going to massively help out. King's ran up ahead, and he's unfortunately got absolutely melted because he's not being covered by Valks or anything like that. Healer is still alive and helping out those Valks. This is where healers always have a good spot in sort of Town or 10, Town 11 raids, because they can just, if they switch target and they end up going onto Valkyries, like in such scenario, the Valkyries just can have all that extra health and be able to survive and keep pushing through the base. It is looking a little bit risky here because he's only got 7 loons to follow up, and there's quite a few defences there. Going to drop quite a few of the loons together, and in with that haste spell, going to push them through. Great use here. Unfortunately, that air defense is still there, but he just wants to get rid of that point defense. And 3 defenses have just gone down. Unfortunately, he's not going to get that final cannon, but with the queen in good health, Expo gone, 1 point defense left, and he's able to bring the 3-star. So good use of the loons and the haste there to help him out with the 3. Town 11 dips are a staple part of any sort of war, really. Because an 11 dip is more reliable, but it depends if you can comfortably get 2 stars with the Town Hall 10s. If you can, then 11 dips are more sensible. If you can't, then you're going to want your 11s on the 11s, and then try and get 10 on 10 trips, but obviously it's a lot more difficult. Now, Tom on Olav, which is going to be, the last 3 raids, including this one, have all had a scout and a hit. So, with this one, Tom is rocking up some Larloon, but he's got some Valks in there as well. So using Valks to sort of form part of the kill squad, I can only imagine that there's a golem in that clan castle maybe. Or he's just going to create a basic entry point and try and use maybe the king to tank for the queen. I'm not 100% sure what he's going to do just yet. Haven't had a chance to watch all these raids. I've just had to sort of respond because I know an update's coming imminently, so I've had to do what I can. The queen is just doing a simple walk, no sort of help really. King and Warden and Valkyrie is going in towards the other, and I'm guessing he's hoping to get that Inferno Tower down. Whether he's going to be able to, we're about to find out. The Valkyries are on next to it, and it is down with the king as well. So the queen is taken 1 air defense down, the king, warden and Valks taken the other air defense down, and now he's just using a couple of hounds. He's got one in the CC, I guess, but he's pushing the loons through onto that first air defense. They will sweep it across the entire base, and he's going to need to rage across that Inferno Tower to make sure he makes good use out of, well, gets it down. He has used the freeze spell there to just stop it from killing his troops, and then the final hound you can see going in onto that air defense now with some back end loons as well. Unfortunately, his group of loons that were next to the that were next to the Archer Tower did die by the Tesla, so he's going to have to travel all the way back up the field to take it down. He's probably going to want a hound to pop en route so he's able to get some pups on the cleanup, because otherwise he's going to struggle with the amount of cleanup that's required. There is a minion at the top side. I can't see any other cleanup troops down yet. Hopefully this hound's going to pop for him, which it is, and it's going to get him a bit of cleanup at least on the base. With a minute left, he's going to need to place this wizard perfectly, but the problem is that the hound is going to be sort of going straight for the wizard. So he's using wall breakers to distract and play tennis with the hound, but then it's going to go straight to the wizard, and he's going to have to try and clean it up. The problem with that is, of course, that it's going to bring pups onto the battlefield as soon as the wizard kills it, unless the hound kills the wizard first, which at this point that's what we're praying for, because he's going to need to take it down. Finishing up, pups are going to clean up the... In fact, the pups and the loons are going to clean up the buildings themselves, and he's just about made it on the timer. I bet it was going to be an absolute close one, but there we go. Couple of Laloon raids, great to see in this war. Unfortunately, D.W.A were not able to pull it through as the win. I won't be covering the Reddit raids because I am typically in war recaps. I only sort of cover this side of the attacks of the people of the war clan I'm sat in. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed that video. Awesome attacks there, and let's tune in for the next one, which will be on the Town Hall 9 content from that war. So peace out, hope you've enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.